Covering the Capitol now, Senator James Lankford joining us live this morning right here in 2 News Oklahoma today. Senator, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you as well.
Glad to have you with us. I know there's a lot going on in the Capitol and a lot going on all around the country in Oklahoma too. So we want to start with kind of a big story that a lot of people are talking about right now at the border. There's that criminal investigation examining the transfer of just about 50 migrants to Martha's Vineyard last week. Class action lawsuit against several Florida officials. Attorneys even representing the migrants say they were used as political pawns. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, though, took credit for arranging the flights to Martha's Vineyard, saying that he is standing by his actions. Those flights were voluntary. They signed waivers. I want to get your thoughts on that, being a senator from Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is pretty remarkable to be able to see all the brouhaha about migrants going to Martha's Vineyard when literally the administration, the Biden administration, has been basically flying or busing migrants all over the country. They get a chance to be able to choose. If they don't know where they want to go, they just put them on a bus and then they take them somewhere to be able to move them away from the border. Sometimes they'll take them to Dallas or Houston. Sometimes they'll take them to Chicago, LA, San Diego, or Miami. So they're taking them all over the place. There's been a tremendous number of individuals that the administration has been flying to Florida, actually, and just dumping them off in Florida. And I think the Florida governor got tired of it and said, why don't I actually move some of these people farther north into hardcore liberal areas, and to say, how are you going to handle these individuals the same way we're going to handle individuals? People lose track of the fact that it's now been almost 4 million people have illegally crossed our border just since President Biden has been elected. Since he's opened up the borders, we have basically the population of Oklahoma that has illegally crossed the border and then scattered out across the country. And this has been a major issue. And I think a lot of governors, like the Texas governor and the Florida governor, are trying to raise attention nationwide to say this is not a simple issue for these communities that have all of these illegal migrants that are actually showing up.
So you would say that you could see in the future these governors doing the same thing, sending more migrants north?
I would assume they would. They're having tens of thousands that are showing up on their doorstep. They're just saying, hey, if the Biden administration is not going to enforce the border, we need to actually push these individuals into other places as well, not just overwhelm Texas and Florida and other places.
All right, we do want to shift, though, to some news impacting our state and a lot of other states, but something that you've been talking about. Great strides have been made to reduce prescription opioid-related overdoses, methamphetamine, illicit fentanyl, really leading the substances there. What is being done to combat that?
Yeah, the hardest part about this, and it connects to this actually story about illegal immigration. When I talk to the Border Patrol and visit with them, one of the big challenges they have is there'll be a large number of migrants that'll cross. And so the Border Patrol all come in to help process those individuals. It leaves the border open then in other areas, and the drug smugglers then move across large quantities of drugs. We're seeing a decrease in quantity of drugs actually interdicted at the border, but a dramatic rise inside the country that's being picked up. A lot of very large drug busts that are happening now in the interior of the country, including in Oklahoma. That's why I often say to people, every state is a border state. We have a dramatic use of methamphetamines in our state. It's wrecking our families. There is no family that benefits from increased use of methamphetamines in their family. There's cocaine that continues to accelerate into our state, and lots of fentanyl that's coming in, which is deadly, which kills on a very high percentage of time. We had 100,000 people die from fentanyl just last year. So these are big issues. It requires more enforcement at the border. It requires more engagement in every community, and we're very grateful to law enforcement and what they do and the risks they take. But honestly, this is a family issue as well, to continue to be able to raise our kids, talk about illegal drug use, and talk about all the risks there, to be able to walk alongside, because literally now with fentanyl in the street, one illegal drug use from a child, it could end up taking that child's life.
All right, Senator, we do want to talk about the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom Reauthorization Act, a bill that you authored alongside Senator Marco Rubio and others on both sides of the aisle. Now heading to the president's desk, could you give us some comments on that and really update some people on what it is and what its goal is?
So a lot of people don't know, but there's a United States Commission for International Religious Freedom that's happened for several years. We wanted to be able to get this thing reauthorized to be able to keep it going. America has this unique value that we lose track of because we're so familiar with it in America. That is religious liberty. In America, you can be any faith, you can change your faith, or be no faith, and you're still honored as a great American. That's not true all over the world. This basic freedom, this human right that we have to be in possession of our own conscience and to be able to live out our conscience and our faith, we want to continue to multiply around the world. The U.S. Commission for International Religious Freedom has done that in nations around the world to help promote religious liberty in those places so they don't face the oppression like they do in Iran, In Iran right now, there are women that are burning their headscarves because they want to express their faith slightly different than someone else that's in government. And they have large riots in the street because they're clamped down on their own faith and conscience. We want to see places like Iran and other places be able to have the religious liberty that we have in the United States, and for individuals to be able to make their own choices. So this is something we've worked hard on to be able to continue this. We're grateful it's been a bipartisan effort, and we're grateful the president's going to sign it in the days ahead and continue to be able to expand this work worldwide.
All right, Senator James Lankford joining us. Always great to catch up with you, Senator. Very much appreciate your time this early morning.
You bet. Good to see you again.
You as well.